This last Saturday, I headed over to Sherwood to check out a new show that an acquaintance of mine has just started, only to realize when I got there that Facebook had given me the notification for the show 5 days after it had actually happened. Since I was already in Sherwood, I went ahead and checked out this little antique mall. Railroad Street Antique Mall is right in the historic district of Sherwood, Oregon, and I decided to take a look and see what they had. And as you can see, I found some treasures. Everyone was very pleasant and very helpful. The entire shop was very well displayed, everything marked very clearly, and a nice selection of toys and Christmas and vintage items and antique, and they had a lot of antique signage. Though all of the walls were covered, there was some very nice eclectic furniture and other items. So I brought home some treasures. I have most of them in the light box right now. I'll show you the final item once we get to it, but let's take a look at what I found. And the first little item were these fun buttons, and they came with the one that's up here, which is a larger antique plastic, molded plastic button, probably a cloak button, I would think, something like that. And then these four matching, which I think are glass. Those were fun, and I will put those with my sewing items. I may keep this one. It's a little beat up, but it's really cool. The next item was this fabulous little salt spoon. It's sterling silver with a gold wash. The gold wash is in perfect condition, and it's very clearly marked on the back of the handle. That was a nice find. That will go in with my salt spoons. I have both individual and master salts. This is an individual. And I also have caviar spoons, which are not metal. They're either made of mother of pearl or a faux tortoise shell, some other type of plastic. You don't use metal on caviar because it will impact the taste. Next was this fabulous little antique onyx and marquisite sterling bar pen, and it does have a C clasp, as you can see. If we focus in on that, there we go. Sorry about that jump, but it is an antique C clasp on it. It is missing one marquisite, but it really isn't that noticeable, and I do really enjoy having things that act the part. This is actually antique. And when we start doing our historic ensembles, this we would put at your neck with your fall of lace, and this would just be beautiful, and you really wouldn't notice that missing marquisite. The next fun little thing I found was this, and it is a pocket knife, a lady's pocket knife. The blade is in beautiful shape. It's early plastic, and the knife is sandwiched between that. It's riveted and bolted. This is German. The knife is in really good shape, so this is a particularly nice example of one of these little novelty pieces that the ladies would carry in their pocket. And once again, that is actually antique. I was excited to find that. And then the last thing I have in here is this really cool little wooden pen, as it's trying to get away from me. And it actually is for a souvenir from Multnomah Falls, which is our really spectacular falls here in the Pacific Northwest. Two little Scotty dogs on their leather leash and hanging from the little bone. And isn't that adorable? It was very reasonable, and I think they just hadn't noticed that it was a souvenir from Multnomah Falls. Being it's a local interest item, I think I'll have a good result with that, and I put it out in my jewelry. I do have some other wooden jewelry, which I'm sure I'm going to enjoy putting that with. The final item I picked up was folded inside a display. I trusted that it was in good shape. I did not open it or ask for it to be opened. It's a christening gown, and it is just covered with fabulous tatting. So the tatting goes all the way down the front of the gown, around the edge, it's around the sleeves. Just a really sweet christening gown, and I'll be putting that with my children's display. Once again, this was the Railroad Street Antique Mall, and they're in Sherwood, Oregon. And as I said, I had a fabulous time browsing. The folks were very nice, and I would recommend this location to go and have some fun. The other nice thing that they had at the Railroad Street Antique Mall was this nice little handout that had some of the other local antique stores in the general area, which I thought was quite sweet. And I think I'm going to borrow this idea and start having one of those at the Aurora Colony Flea for our customers to know other locations as well. There's another look at the treasures I brought from my trip to Sherwood, Oregon, and my stop at the Railroad Street Antique Mall. It was a beautiful fall day, as you can see from the outside pictures, and I hope you enjoyed just a quick little look at these items that I picked up. Remember to like, subscribe, and select the notifications so you don't miss any of my future trips.